Hi, my name's Steve, and this is a short tutorial on how to install Virtualbox and Ubuntu Linux on Windows 7. And the first step obviously is to go to Oracle's website. So open up your browser, go to their download site, and download the Windows executable since we're installing on Windows 7. And it takes about a minute for the file to download. If some of you are already familiar with VMware, VirtualBox is essentially the same thing, except VirtualBox is free. So thanks, Oracle. Alright, the file is still downloading here. Should be done in about 20 seconds. So I'm not that familiar with VirtualBox. I've actually used VMware exclusively for a long time now, but yeah, I'd like to try VirtualBox, and from what I hear, it's essentially the same thing. So yeah, and that's the tutorial on how to install it. That is, not necessarily how to use it. Okay, the download is done. Let's go ahead and start installing VirtualBox. Navigate to where you downloaded the file. You can drag it on your desktop if you want or whatever. Just double click it to start the install. And the install is actually pretty short, and there's really not that much user interaction required. In this step you can customize your install, but we're just going to go ahead and do a default install. There's no real compelling reason for this tutorial anyway to do a custom install. So let's just do a default. Go ahead and click Next. You can create a shortcut on your desktop or on your toolbar. You just click Next, Install, and the installation will start. The installation will take about a couple minutes. Go ahead and just click Install. And after this, there's no user interaction required at all, so I will go ahead and fast forward here till the end of the install. Alright, it's done installing, and a dialog box should pop up here, or the application itself should pop up here. There it is. Now we can use this. We can use VirtualBox to install Ubuntu, but we have to download Ubuntu first, obviously. So go to Ubuntu's site, and you can click Downloads up top, or just click Get Ubuntu right in the front. The version we want for this tutorial is Ubuntu Desktop. And I'm going to download the 64-bit version. And if the download doesn't start right away, which it didn't for me, just go ahead and click Download Now, and it'll force the download. Okay, Ubuntu is now done downloading, so we can start configuring a new virtual machine in VirtualBox. You can just go ahead and name your virtual machine whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Something that, well, actually you should name it something that's going to be recognizable, especially if you decide to install several different versions of Linux, or you can name it Ubuntu 1 or Linux 1 or whatever. Just something to differentiate it from other installs, similar installs. Here you are selecting the base memory. The default's fine, 512 megabytes. And then here we are actually creating the virtual hard disk, and that's essentially just a folder on your machine that will serve as the virtual hard disk. And 8 gigs is the recommended size, and this isn't actually where you choose the size. You'll choose it in the next step here, but yeah, just click Create New Disk, check mark Startup Disk, and then click Next. And here we will do default VirtualBox disk image. We're not doing anything fancy, so the default is fine here. Go ahead and click Next. And the virtual disk storage details here, we'll just go ahead and choose the default. It's dynamically allocated instead of a fixed size, so as you use disk space, it will expand, and the maximum is of course 8 gigs if you decide to go with the default, which we will. And go ahead and click Next here. And it gives you a little summary of the configuration of your virtual machine. Yeah, dynamically allocated storage, VirtualBox disk image, 8 gigs max, and it shows you the path of where your virtual machine is on your machine, your actual physical machine. So now your virtual machine is done configuring, so you can look on the right side here, and it will show you the basic configuration and stats. And now we actually will install Ubuntu on the virtual machine. So go ahead and click OK for this. You can click, or you can check box Do Not Show again as well. So you have to point VirtualBox to the ISO of Ubuntu that we downloaded earlier, and there it is. So click Open, and it's selected, so click Next. Gives you a little summary of the source ISO, and kind of obvious, but it's cool. And now it's installing. And just click OK on that to get rid of it. And there it is again. You can just check box Do Not Show this message again, but I just kept clicking OK myself. Doesn't really matter. And the install is running. And there it is again. And Ubuntu install will take approximately 30 minutes. There's not really much user interaction just at the beginning. Once it actually starts installing the files, it's pretty much hands-off. Okay, so just follow the instructions. They're pretty much self-explanatory. Install Ubuntu as English, of course. And I decided to checkbox the download updates while installing. Or actually, no, I didn't. I clicked continue, and you can download those updates later, obviously, in Ubuntu. And this looks a little bit scary, but all it's saying is that it's going to erase the disk, the virtual disk that we configured, and then install Ubuntu on that. It's not going to actually do anything to any other portion of your hard drive, so don't worry. Go ahead and click Install Now. Go ahead and click Continue here. It's detected where I'm located, in the Los Angeles area, obviously. since 10 Cal Poly Pomona, and choose your language for your keyboard, and English US for me. And type in your username, whatever your name is, or whatever you generally go by. If you have a handle or something, then that's fine too. And the default computer name's acceptable for me. You can go ahead and type in a password to force authentication when you log in. Obviously, if you can, choose a strong password, but I mean, it's a home machine, so you don't necessarily have to have a really strong password. Just personally, I just pick something that I can easily remember. Alright, so the password is entered, and click continue. And the install will continue, obviously. And that's pretty much all the interaction required for now. Actually, installing all the system files will take about 20 minutes, like I said earlier. So let's go ahead and fast forward to when the install is actually done. And it should be done here in a second. Alright, there it is. Go ahead and restart Ubuntu to finish the install. Alright, and then you want to just press enter here. Obviously, you don't have any physical media in the tray, but in your CD-ROM. But virtual machine acts just like a physical, actual hardware computer, so it'll prompt you. Click OK here to close this again. And the install should finish here pretty soon. And enter your password that you entered earlier during the install, and it should log you into Ubuntu. And when you expand your window that Ubuntu's in, you can actually go to View to change it so that it doesn't just stay one size. It'll actually expand to the size of the window that you're working in. And there's your install, and we're done. So you have VirtualBox and Ubuntu installed as a virtual machine on your computer on Windows 7. Thanks for watching.